And welcome back. Top on the brief this morning is River State, where the government says the prime suspect in the explosion that rocked Port Harcourt, the state capital, on Tuesday, has now been found. The State Commissioner for Health, Dr. Adeze Ore, says the suspect was found at the River State University Teaching Hospital, formerly known as Braithwaite Memorial Specialist Hospital. In the meantime, the River State Governor, Simlai Fubara, told a visiting team of the Senate Committee on Privatization, led by Senator Ojuz Okalu, that the intention of the man was to blow up the Presidential Hotel, a highly rated hospitality facility in the state.
When a young man was brought to the River State University Teaching Hospital with alleged injuries sustained during what was said to be a road traffic accident, the medical personnel that were on hand to examine him and offer medical care were on alert and immediately recognized that the injuries that were seen on this individual were not in tandem with a road traffic accident and rather resembled injuries that would have come from blast. The individual was taken to the theater for immediate resuscitation because as at the time he was brought in, he was semi-conscious. But the medical personnel did the needful and immediately informed the River State government, immediately informed the Commissioner for Police in River State and the River State Ministry of Health about the presence of that individual in the facility, even when providing emergency medical care to revive and resuscitate him. He is currently stable. We are working in tandem with the River State Police Command, and so the hospital has been fully secured. The premises and the perimeter have been fully secured. The patient is undergoing current medical treatment. He is stable, and the police is doing their own part with carrying out the necessary investigations. Several individuals brought the patient. One is still with him, and all the others immediately found their way out of the facility. But of course, like I said, we are working with the Nigerian police force and they will be carrying out their own investigative role.
And in Kaduna State, the immediate past governor of the state, Nasir El-Rufai, has filed a fundamental rights suit at a federal high court sitting in the state capital against the State House of Assembly over allegations relating to misappropriation of state funds during his tenure in office. In the suit filed through his lawyer, Abdul Hakim Mustafa, a senior advocate of Nigeria, Malam El-Rufai is asking the court to declare the report of the Assembly probe null and void, having been denied fair hearing over the allegations leveled against him by the committee.
I'm here with Malam Nasir El-Rufai to file an application to enforce his fundamental rights. As we are all aware, the Kaduna State House of Assembly set up an ad hoc committee to investigate loan and other activities of the former administration. A lot of witnesses were called, and they did hearing and they admitted a lot of documents. But strangely, Malam Nasir El-Rufai, who apparently was the target of the investigative committee, was never invited. The law is very clear. Everybody deserves to be given a hearing. The right to fair hearing is a natural right that inures into every human being. Malam Nasir El-Rufai a lot of allegations were made against him. He was not given a hearing at all. As a law-abiding citizen who believes in the rule of law and who believes that when there are infractions, you need to approach the court, he's here today before the Federal Court to enforce his right that every infraction they alleged, he was not given an opportunity to state his own side of the story. And the law is clear about it. Any proceeding, be it court or quasi-tribunal, that it didn't give the parties concerned a hearing, the whole proceeding is void ab initio. And that's why we're here.
Now, a check on the cholera outbreak as the Nigeria Center for Disease Control and Prevention, NCDC, has announced 53 deaths from cholera out of 1,528 suspected cases across 31 states of the Federation. 29 of the deaths occurred in Lagos, which has 579 suspected cases. The federal government, which has activated an emergency operations center, is asking residents not to panic in the face of the 2-week-old outbreak, but to take precautionary steps.
So far, we have not been able to identify a source yet, but the investigations are continuing because we want to see if we can identify a particular source or sources. But moving forward, we're going to keep active surveillance around our water sources and the distribution of beverages in Lagos State.
And as Nigeria joins the rest of the world to mark this year's International Day Against Drug Abuse and Illicit Drug Trafficking, President Bola Tinubu is pledging additional support for the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency and NDLEA to curb the menace of substance abuse in the country. The president, who was represented at the ceremony at the banquet hall in Abuja by the secretaries to the government of the Federation, Senator George Akume, gave the assurances of the federal government to assist the NDLEA to reduce the statistics of people who abuse drugs and substances in Nigeria by mobilizing funds.
I enjoin all and sundry to support the War Against Drug Abuse Initiative, otherwise known as the WADA campaign, launched by NDLEA 3 years ago. I commend and urge everyone to redouble their efforts to combat drug abuse and trafficking in the country. On this score, we wish to reassure you of this administration's support. The renewed hope agenda places the youth at the center of its focus. Therefore, we shall ensure that our young people are protected from anything that could derail their future or destroy their potential. The assignment before us as a country requires that we prioritize evidence-based prevention strategies, allocate adequate resources, and foster partnerships. This government will support NDLEA to build on the success recorded in the past few years.
And the Nigeria Governors Forum on Wednesday met at the Forum's Secretariat in Abuja. And top on the agenda is the issue of the new national minimum wage, local government autonomy, and the MC Cares disbursement to states. The meeting had in attendance some governors and deputy governors, including the governors of Zamfara, Oyo, Anambra, as well as the deputy governors of Borno and Delta State. This is the first time the governors are meeting after the tripartite committee on the new national minimum wage concluded its negotiations 2 weeks ago. And outside our shores now, Julian Assange has landed back home in his native country of Australia after a plea deal allowed him to walk free from a London prison. There were emotional scenes at Canberra Airport as the WikiLeaks founder kissed his wife and hugged his father, his lawyers watching on, visibly moved. Julian Assange needs time to recover to get used to freedom, and that's according to his wife, Stella Assange, which she revealed at a press conference shortly after her husband arrived. And for the past 14 years, Assange has been in a legal battle with U.S. officials who accuse him of leaking classified documents, which they say put lives in danger. The 52-year-old did not attend the news conference in Canberra, instead letting his lawyer and wife speak for him. And in sports, it was a dream start for Georgia in their European Championship encounter as they have advanced to the knockout stages for the first time, upsetting Group F winners Portugal 2-0 to qualify as one of the best third-place teams. Georgia produced a shock on their group stage debut, scoring with both of their attempts on target to beat Portugal in front of 24,425 fans in Tbilisi. Turkey are also through after late 2-1 win over 10-man Czech Republic, while Romania, Belgium, and Slovakia had earlier secured their passage from Group E. And those are some of the big stories of the day, some of which may form the talking points today.